that the Gamblers run the football 45% of the time on first down. Todd Fowler is the lone setback, draws, traps. Sat in my room all weekend and figured that out.
Draws, traps, dives, counters, and occasionally the option play where Kelly will either run the ball himself or pitch.
But it doesn't seem like they run it 45% of the time.
No.
They just sneak it in there. 2nd and 5. 5 linebackers, 6 defensive backs for the goal. Again, there's pressure on Kelly. Incomplete, almost intercepted. Scott McGee was the intended receiver. David Martin knocked it away. Right now, let's go to New York. Here's Jim Lampley.
The Los Angeles Express had fallen behind early, Tim Brandt, 7-0 to the Washington Federals, but now they've come back and scored on what is rapidly becoming their trademark. A 5-yard rollout by Steve Young, his running talent, so much a part of their improvement. It's 7-7 LA and Washington now in the first quarter. Back to Tim Brandt.
They get better every week. Los Angeles, 14 players that would have been taken in the first or second round, National Football League. They continue to mesh together. Don't be surprised to see them in the championship game. 3rd and 5 from the 43 for Jim Kelly and his Gamblers. This is Fowler inside, first down, cross midfield. Well, when you put 5 linebackers in and 6 defensive backs, when you mix things up and look for defensive schemes, that time they were in a nickel, you're susceptible to runs like that.
That's exactly the point. With that kind of a look, you can go inside quick with a fullback like Fowler. Means that a guy like Steve Trimble out of your alma mater, the University of Maryland, has to make the tackle in the secondary. I know you like Steve Trimble because he's a hitter.
He is that. He's a headhunter. 7-yard pickup for Fowler. He now has 28 yards in 4 carries. Trimble's the kind of guy that'll hit you early just to let you know he's in the neighborhood so that you look for him the rest of the afternoon. Kelly, slip screen to Fowler on first down. And he's up close to another one. They'll give him 9 yards on that play. So it'll bring up 2nd and 1.
This is a variation of a play that we call the Utah pass. My old coach, Cactus Jack Curtis, had something very similar to this when we were at the University of Utah. Fowler takes the ball, falls in behind a wall of blockers. Pat Ogren, number 79, is the man who makes the tackle there. A lot of gadgetry. A lot of gadgetry and big plays by the Houston Gamblers.
First time Houston has been in Denver territory in this ball game. We've got 5:25 remaining in the first quarter. Sanders in motion, sprint to the right. Sanders is your man, and he runs out of bounds. First down at the 36-yard line. And I repeat, Houston has scored 114 points in the first quarter.
Ricky Sanders, a former running back out of Southwest Texas State. I covered him where he was the most valuable player in the 1982 Palm Bowl. Breakout pattern, slides to the outside, simply slips along the sidelines, and is close to the first down yard marker.
5 linebackers, 6 defensive backs for the Denver goal. Ricky Sanders goes to the top of the screen, shaking his head. At the bottom is number 89, Clarence Verdun. Sanders in motion. Fowler, the ball carrier, has a hole. This is Trimble, and Trimble rides him inside the 25 to the 21-yard line. Steve Trimble, who's just 180 pounds, goes piggyback with Fowler, who's up near 220.
He is exactly 220, 6'4", 220 pounds, a rookie out of Stephen F. Austin. It's that counter play again, Tim. And you can see that with that kind of alignment defensively, that is going to be effective for the Houston Gamblers. There are the numbers on Fowler. He's listed at 218. We've also heard 220.
Fowler now has 42 yards. He needs 39 yards to pass Harrell as the Gamblers' leading rusher. Reloads. Kelly throws, and it's almost intercepted. David Martin had the ball in his hands, almost had the interception, dropped it, and he is upset with himself now.
As we said, Tim, the run and shoot offense involves a total read on the run, both by the quarterback and by the wide receivers. If that read is incorrect, sometimes you will see passes like this. Now, it is either overthrown or underthrown, depending on your point of view, but be that as it may, there's a near interception by Martin, number 13. Sanders, number 80, is the intended receiver, or possibly Mosier, number 85.
Very complicated offensive scheme. All Kelly does is call the formation and snap count in the huddle. Then the receivers read on the run, and Kelly reads the receivers. This is the draw to Fowler. To the 10, to the 7-yard line. Big Todd Fowler, and he just buries David Dumars in the secondary.
The draw play has been far and away their most effective running play. Look at it here as Kelly starts to sprint to his right, slips the ball to Fowler, starts inside, then ducks outside, is in the secondary. David Dumars, who set an interception yardage return record last year, is the man who makes the tackle.
The Gamblers have scored an incredible 62 touchdowns coming into this game. They've outscored their opponents 132 to 45. First and goal from the 7. Fowler, hold, touchdown Houston. Ernie Rogers, Scott Boucher made the blocks, and Fowler took advantage and rambled into the end zone for the Gamblers' touchdown.
Once again, it's the counter play. Look at the work of Scott Boucher, number 60, and Rogers, number 73. That springs Fowler into the end zone. Tony Fritsch, a 16-year NFL veteran, also played 8 years of professional soccer, Tim. A man down for the gold. It appears to be Bill Matthews, number 51.
Well, Fowler now has 64 yards from 7 carries. He has the touchdown as they work on Bill Matthews of the Denver Gold. And now they'll bring on Tony Fritsch to attempt the extra point. Fritsch is 52 of 53 in extra points. Played soccer in Europe, and that's where the Dallas Cowboys found him.
Signed as a free agent in 1971. Picked up 2 Super Bowl rings while he was with the Cowboys. One more look at the last touchdown. Watch the aforementioned blocking in the line. And there is a great hole right there for number 46, Todd Fowler. Rogers and Boucher particularly, but almost everyone along that front 5 gets the job done for the Gamblers.
Looks as if Matthews may be okay. Just had his ticket punched a little bit. They worked on his right knee, and his pants leg is pulled up there.
Ticket punched?
We hope he's okay.
Ticket
Tony Fritsch, 52 of 53 extra points. Twice this year he's kicked 4 field goals in a game. That was against Jacksonville and Pittsburgh. Had 4 field goals last week. No question about it. So the Houston Gamblers are on the board first in the shootout in Denver. Our score, 7-0.
17 hours. That's how long it took us to paint this house with the brush. Then we painted it in just 6.5 hours with the Wagner Power Painter. This wicker chair took over an hour, but less than 5 minutes with a Wagner Power Painter. A shutter that took 20 minutes, a Power Painter finished in only 3. It's a tool so versatile, it has a flexible spray tip and a way to draw paint right from a can. A Wagner Power Painter. It's the right tool for painting.
Wednesday, John Travolta and Lily Tomlin living moment by moment.
So, big offensive series for Todd Fowler, the lone setback for the Gamblers. He is now past Sam Hurrell as the Gamblers' leading rusher. They drive, 9 plays, 62 yards, 4 minutes, 17 seconds. We saw every kind of defense conceivable. Imaginative scheme set up by Craig Morton, the Denver coach, as Tony Fritsch will kick it away. And he drives this one into the end zone where Leonard Harris will make the The catch, pick it up in the end zone and down it. So with timeout on the field, we'll take on as well with our score 7-0 Houston.
In this rapidly changing world, even the brightest and best manager in the company may need more than a loyal staff to run a smooth operation. For when headquarters calls and pressure builds, it becomes harder to keep things rolling without running into mix-ups, losing control of the operation, and falling behind. For rapid improvement, a manager could use a tool for modern times, the IBM personal computer, for smoother scheduling, better planning, and greater productivity. It can help a manager excel and become a big wheel in the company. The IBM personal computer. See it at a store near you.
Baseball returns to prime time as the game's two powerhouse teams go for it in an American League East battle. See the red-hot Toronto Blue Jays take on the remarkable Detroit Tigers, who are off to the best start ever in the majors. Or Cincinnati at Los Angeles on the season premiere of Monday Night Baseball tomorrow.
We had hoped that the injury to Bill Matthews was not serious, but now we understand he has ligament damage in his right knee, and let me just update you that Bill Matthews has had arthroscopic surgery already this season.
That is never good news when you hear that someone has had ligament damage to the knee.
A lively crowd at Mile High Stadium this afternoon. We were treated to a concert by the group Alabama prior to this ball game, and this crowd is wired. First and 10 from the 20 for Mortensen.
It's going to be false start by Harris, I think, Tim.
False start. Offense, number 80.
Our referee today is Dave Kamansky. Arthur McCullough is the head linesman. Right now, let's go down to Jim Bergamo.
Thank you, Tim. With me is Todd Fowler, who accounted for 64 yards of Houston's yardage on that last touchdown drive. Todd, it looked like it's an old story. You're just taking what they're giving you. If they're going to line up with a lot of defensive backs, you're going to run on them.
Yeah, that's right. And our offensive line's done a good job on the traps and the draws and stuff like that. And they're knocking big holes, giving me a chance to get the secondary.
All right, Todd. Good luck. Okay.
After the penalty, they move Denver back 5. First and 15. This is the running back, Kevin Williams, who takes it to the right side, tempers Flair a little bit. He gets back to the 20-yard line.
Kevin Williams out of USC, normally a wide receiver, Tim, from time to time will line up as the I-back, and practically every time they have had him in that position, they have pitched to him. Obviously, what they're trying to do is take advantage of his speed. He's a world-class sprinter, had 9.4 speed in the 100-yard dash, and has been a big play man for the Gold. Originally started his USFL career with the Los Angeles Express.
We've talked so much about the Houston offense today. I think we should mention the fact that the defense has given up 388 points. That's the most in the USFL, and they rank 14th in an 18-team league in pass defense. Mortensen wants to test it, and Williams can't hold on. Williams had the ball in his hands and simply dropped it.
Fred Mortensen out of Arizona State, who we've been talking about, gets pretty good protection here. He's trying to find Kevin Williams across the middle, number 86. Ball was just flat dropped.
Harry Sidney comes out of the ball game, Denver, as does Leonard Harris. Kevin Williams remains in with Vincent White. And Dave Preston sees his first action of the day. 2 receivers to the top of your screen. It is 3rd and 11 from the 19. Mortensen in trouble. Now has plenty of room on that side. He starts to tuck it away, does, to the 26-yard line. And Pete Caton, who came all the way from the backside, traces him down from the back.
Fred Mortensen out of the shotgun now is looking for a combination pattern on his left, gets some pressure and starts scrambling to his right. Watch number 77, Pete Caton, a 4-year pro out of Eastern Illinois, right there. Run him down along the sidelines. Caton and Crosby both have 11 sacks apiece. they have been active in that 4-3 alignment.
There are the numbers on Spielman. He'll be punting deep to number 13, Gerald McNeil. McNeil, 18 returns. He's got an 11-yard average. Ironically, out of the 18 punts, he has fair caught the ball only twice, and this is a boomer. It drives him all the way back to the 20-yard line, and there's a clip. Vincent Kerrville will be the man who will be charged with the clip. But the punt was an attention getter, 54 yards.
In this rarefied air of Denver, Tim, that ball will fly sometimes.
Did not help us much yesterday when we were down there kicking the football.
I was going to say.
Those of you who followed the career of Lee Grosskopf when he was the All-American at Utah, let me tell you, the arm is still there, but the body is not willing to pay the price. He's barely walking today. He is very sore. Here's the call.
Illegal block above the waist, number 83. Half the distance to the goal line. First down.
Vincent Kerrville, number 83, is the man cited right there, and you see clearly that he blindsides number 25, Darrell Hemphill. That is a clip.
They called illegal block above the waist, but it is a clip as well, as we saw in the replay. Good call. Vincent Kerrville, he's the guilty party, and it moves Houston back inside the 10 to the 9-yard line.
Okay, guys, you're on your own.
Good friends.
Ready? Ready as I'll ever be.
Tonight is kind of special.
Whoa! Last one down by the lower brow.
The beer will pour. Must say something more somehow.
So tell me, were you scared?
No.
Tonight.
Me too.
Let it be
Stu, do you know how I can get this big package to Seattle overnight?
Gee, I don't know, Femur. Let's go up and bounce it off Boomer.
Gosh, I don't know, fellas. Let's go up and run it by Rizzo.
Let's parade this past Pooperman.
Let's waltz it by Wempus.
Let's dance it by Dolt. If more people knew Federal Express handles great big packages, even up to 125 pounds, it sure would save everybody a whole lot of trouble.
Houston has the lead in the football. A beautiful day for football in Denver. The Gamblers run the ball 45% of the time on first down. We'll see what they do here. They're going to throw. This is Kelly. He's looking back, has backside pressure, and bounces the ball to Ricky Sanders, or Richard Johnson, rather. Number 22. And you know, it's easy to get those two mixed up. Sanders and Johnson. Look at the records by Jim Kelly.
Sir.
He's already broken Fred Basana's single-season mark for most passing yards. Single game record you see right there. Last week, he had the highest completion percentage ever, 869 against Jacksonville. That is remarkable.
Second and 10 from the 10. Kelly fires, has a man, incomplete, almost intercepted. Steve Trimble was there. It was intended for Richard Johnson, who lost the handle. Trimble had the football but couldn't hang on. Almost a big play by the former Terrapin.
Richard Johnson in isolation here. Let's watch his read. He's going in motion from his left slot back to the right. Comes up here, and he sees that there is an opening right up the seam. However, that is closed up quickly by number 47, Steve Trimble, and also by number 13, David Martin.
Richard Johnson, quite a story. Says he's been waiting for this game all year since he was on the Denver roster last year. Did not make a catch. And Richard's not shy about the fact that he wants to show off this afternoon. Third and 10. Kelly with backside pressure rifles the pass, and it's complete to number 80, Ricky Sanders, on the sideline. It won't be enough for the first down. So the Denver defense rises to the occasion.
Look at the pressure right here, and the shot applied to Johnson along the sidelines. Looky here, no, it's Johnson getting the hit on Hemphill, number 25. Good shot.
Dale Walters, number 1, to punt it for Houston. The deep man is David Martin, all-pro return man for the goal. He'll fair catch it on the 39. Dangerous play, but a fine catch. Only 7 fair catches in 22 attempts, so he doesn't do it very often. A lot of ball games going on around the USFL today. Tampa Bay leads the Generals 7-0. A little bit of a surprise there. Tampa Bay playing extremely well. New Jersey still in the hunt for the championship in the East. Birmingham leads Arizona 7-0. George Allen reportedly in trouble as the head coach in Arizona. And look at this score, Lee Grosscup, 7-7, the Express in Washington.
This time of year, you see a lot of upsets. A lot of teams that were weak early in the year have gotten strong, particularly the Oakland Invaders.
Fred Mortensen, your quarterback. 2 300-yard games in the past 3 weeks. He has the ball on the 41. It's first down. Takes the draw, in trouble, has room. To the 47-yard line goes Fred Mortensen. Fred's quite a story. Did not play at all for the Gold in the first quarter of this season, but when Penrose and Galliano went down, Mortensen was called back, and he responded to the challenge quite well.
He is an interesting story. We'll amplify more on that. Fakes the draw right here. He's trying to throw a middle route, gets some pressure right there, and moves to his right. Now he pulls the ball down, and in the secondary it's going to be linebacker Kiki Diala and also number 34 Calvin Eason.
Few people know that Fred led Arizona State past Nebraska in the Fiesta Bowl when he was a senior. From the 47, it's 2nd and 4. Mortensen drops the football, gets it back at the 45. So it'll be a loss of 2, and it'll bring up 3rd and 6. But that'll be the end of the first quarter. You heard the gun. Denver holds on to the football. Well, Fred Mortensen now will have to do some magic. He'll have 6 yards for the first. When we come back to start the second quarter, it's 7-0 Houston.
Bronco 2 never made it. S10 Blazer 4x4 never made it. No four-wheeler ever made it. Until the new Jeep Cherokee Sport Wagon became the first to win all 3 4x4 of the Year awards. And Jeep Cherokee has more horsepower per pound than Blazer, and higher mileage than both. And only Cherokee has a choice of 2 or 4 doors, and room for 5. Get triple award-winning Cherokee performance, or the luxury of the new Wagoneer, only in a Jeep.
This is one of the few computers that has not benefited from AT&T computer technology. Over the years, AT&T innovations have helped other companies' computers become smarter, faster, and easier to use. This is AT&T's newest innovation, AT&T Computers. Business computers specially designed to let people communicate more easily, more reliably. They may just change the way you think about computers.
Heating or cooling, caring about your comfort is all we do. We and our dealers do it every day for millions of people like you. Count on the man with Train.
Comfort's coming from Train.
Train air conditioning. 50 million people take comfort in it.
In the beginning, man's feet walked free, but the road to civilization was paved, so man developed shoes. Soon after that, man developed athlete's foot.
God.
Today, there's Micotin. Micotin cures athlete's foot. It's the only athlete's foot medicine you can buy with miconazole, a patented ingredient recommended by specialists to cure athlete's foot. Micotin, now also available in new spray liquid. Use the Micotin coupon in your Sunday paper.
Jim Lampley in New York. Just moments after a Ricky Ray interception and a stout to Ken Toller touchdown pass had given Birmingham the lead over the Arizona Wranglers, The Wranglers struck back on this 81-yard touchdown run by Tim Spencer. Not a small man, and the defensive back he outran here is potential all-star Chuck Clanton. And incidentally, Tim Brandt, not surprisingly, while Arizona and Birmingham are 7-7, Joe Cribbs was booed on his return to Legion Field today. Back to Tim Brandt.
Okay, Jim Lampley, we've got a little bit of a switch here. Craig Penrose comes into the ball game now as quarterback of the Gold, so Mortensen goes out. 3rd and 6 from the 45. Penrose sits in the pocket nicely, drops it across the middle, and the pass is dropped by Dave Preston, number 46. Well.
Dave Preston, the hero last week, part of the play which Craig Morton has called the miracle. That was the 32-yard pass against San Antonio that gave the Gold their first win in 5 weeks.
Preston, former Denver Bronco, as is Craig Penrose. Spielman comes on to do the duty to give the football back to Houston. Strange year for Denver. 7-1 at one point, then lost 5 straight games. Or won 5 straight, rather, and then they have lost 5 of their last 6. This is a high punt, not a particularly long one. It will hit at about the 26. It gets a Houston roll and goes down inside the 24-yard line.
Tim, as we look at the first quarter numbers, it's interesting to note there that Houston, despite the fact that they are a big play team, has also been a pretty good possession team. They have kept the ball longer than Denver, and in total yards, they have surpassed them 107 to 103. And in passing yards, look at that, 43 to -2. Mortensen was 0 for 2 in the first quarter and was sacked once for a -2 yards. That's why that stat looks that way.
Craig Morton says that Denver needs 5 turnovers to beat Houston today. So far, there have been none. 14 minutes, 46 seconds remaining in the half. This is Fowler, breaks a tackle, and bowls his way to the 24-yard line before Tom Sullivan, the safety, can come up and make the stop.
What I mentioned a moment ago was the fact that Houston, despite the fact that they are a big play team, is pretty good at possessing the football. They're keeping the ball for better than 30 minutes per game.
Talking with Houston offensive coordinator Mouse Davis yesterday, he said he was very concerned with the chucking that was going on, the knocking around of his wide receivers. Now, that is legal for the first 5 yards. But then after that, of course, it's a hands-off policy. He says they are chucking him even after that, hanging on to him later, and it's not being called. This is 2nd and 8 for Kelly. Flags fly. Kelly has time. He's going deep. And it's incomplete. It was intended for number 22, Richard Johnson, the flyer out of the University of Colorado.
You saw something right there, though, that's important, the strength of Jim Kelly's arm. He can throw the ball 70 yards or more if he needs to.
The play, the penalty rather, is against Denver. It looks like it'll be offsides. Boy, Johnson's quite a character. He says, be prepared to see a man, and I quote, better than Herschel Walker, better than Joe Cribbs, better than anybody, unquote.
Offside, defense number 60, 2nd down.
Number 60 is Bruce Thornton. So it'll be 2nd and 3 from the 30. And quite frankly, these are situations that you don't want to get the defense into, and opportunities you do not want to give Jim Kelly. 2nd and 3, he can go long if he wants.